Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and today I wanted to bring you my 5 reasons that Battlefront absolutely kicks ass. Now, there are also a lot of things wrong with this game, and I have a second part to this video, which is 10 things that Battlefront is doing wrong right now, which is oddly enough, they're doing a lot more things wrong than they are doing right. So if you want to check out that video as well, I'm going to put a link to it right here in this video, so you can go ahead and click on that if you want to see everything I think is wrong with Battlefront right now. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on the things they are doing right. As a big Star Wars fan, the first thing I wanted to get out there is that they have really just nailed the authentic Star Wars feel. I mean, as far as the way that the weapons and character models look, to the environments, all of that is just absolutely perfect. The sound design there as well, that amazing music coming from the Star Wars universe, and the sound effects of the weapons and the vehicles is all just like spot on perfect, man. They've really just nailed all of these aspects of the Star Wars universe, and I'm so happy to see that in Battlefront, because I don't think this game could have survived without that level of accuracy, because I know hardcore fans of the movies as well as the old Battlefront games are going to be looking for that stuff. I know I am personally, and that was one of the first things I noticed about this game. Just first booting it up and you hear that Star Wars music coming on in the menu, it's absolutely amazing, and that all carries over into the actual game as well. You know, when you got your heroes spawning in like Luke or Darth Vader, and you hear their theme music kicking in when Darth Vader takes the battlefield, and you hear the bum 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 bum. It's awesome, man. It's so cool. It just hits me right in that fucking Star Wars nerve, and it's so cool, and they've really just absolutely nailed that. The second thing that DICE has just done really well is that the graphics in the game are amazing. The lighting engine that they have updated sort of here from Battlefield 4 looks fantastic. The way the lighting especially reflects off of player models and the weapons. You know, I know that there's an advantage to playing in third person in this game, but honestly, I want to run around in first person so much just because I can see that gorgeous lighting even better, especially reflecting off of those realistic weapon models that are in the game that they basically scanned in right from the Lucas Vault. They brought in actual props from the movies back in the day, like the old original trilogy movies, not the new bullshit trilogy. And I mean, by the I mean Phantom Menace through Revenge of the Sith, not the new J.J. Abrams trilogy, but the bullshit trilogy. You know which one I'm talking about. But they got the weapons in from the original trilogy that they scanned into the game, so that's why it just gives it that really authentic feel. And the lighting looks so good on the blasters and everything. It's just, I know gameplay is more important than graphics, but as a graphics whore and a PC user, I have to kind of gush over the visuals in this game because they are absolutely stunning. And despite looking really well, the game is also optimized amazingly on consoles as well as on PC. The game has excellent scalability for graphics cards and CPUs, so chances are if you're out there running basically anything above potato, you should be able to run this game reasonably well on the PC, if not better than consoles. I know on the PS4 it's 1600 by 900. I'm not sure of the resolution on the Xbox One. You could let me know down in the comments below if you do. But both systems are running the game at 60 FPS on console. I saw Digital Foundry's analogy, and they were running down to like 50 FPS in some areas, but for the most part, they're running at a solid 60 frames on console, so that's pretty damn good to see. And on PC, the game runs extremely well. I've been able to run the game in 4K with my dual 980 Ti's, which I know, you know, dual 980 Ti's, that's a hefty system, and it was using like over 5 gigabytes for 4K, so it's definitely taxing at those higher resolutions. But for 1080p, you know, 60 FPS, I tested it on my 970 as well, and it was handling this game in spades, you know, no issues whatsoever, soaring up to like 80-90 frames in 1080p on a 970, so you shouldn't have any issues there running this game if you're running, you know, a semi-modern PC from like the, you know, the 600 series onward from NVIDIA, or the 7000 series onward for AMD. The next thing is the matchmaking in the game. Now, they don't have any dedicated servers, and in my video where I talk about everything wrong with Star Wars Battlefront, you know, I addressed that issue with not having dedicated servers. But in order for this game to work, since the dedicated servers, or I'm saying the dedicated servers, the server browser is not there, the matchmaking in this game needed to be perfect, and thankfully it is actually quite good. Apart from having some issues with bringing your party members into the games all the time, just searching for a match and getting into a match is really quick. It found matches for me every time I've searched so far. I haven't had any, sort of like dropping connections or not finding any matches, so the matchmaking has worked very well so far from what I've experienced in the beta, and hopefully that, that carries over into when the game comes out in November, or just even gets better. The last thing I gotta mention here is the combat in the game. The player movement. It's fun, man. Like using the jump packs and stuff like that, and getting around, using that to get around the level is just a lot of fun. I would have liked to have seen a sort of loadout, at default when you first load into the game, maybe a preset loadout of some of the star cards built into the game, because when you first load into the game, you just basically have a basic blaster. You have no star cards. It's very limiting, and it can be kind of uninviting to new players when you first load in, because you're going to be getting your ass kicked initially, especially on Walker Assault if you're limited with how many weapons and abilities you have. But as far as when you finally do get those things, when you finally start getting a few star cards and you got your jump pack and stuff like that, traversing the levels is a lot of fun. The combat's a lot of fun, and that's really what's important at the end of the day, is that the game is fun, and they have nailed that with Star Wars Battlefront. The game is an absolute blast to play, despite some of the discrepancies I've had with the game and things that I want to see addressed in the game before it does release in November. And before I get out of here, I'll just mention again, I do have a video up for everything I found wrong with the Star Wars Battlefront beta. The game is not perfect by any means. There's a lot of things wrong with this game. In fact, more things wrong than there are things right. But none of those things would actually stop me from buying this game, because I'm a Star Wars nut and I can't wait for this game to come out so I can finally play it and see the final version and bring you guys more content around Star Wars Battlefront as a fan of that game series as well as the films. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, guys. Let me know what you thought about the Battlefront beta down in the comments below, because I'd love to get your guys' feedback and see if it lines up with what I'm saying. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more Battlefront content in the future, and like this video if you enjoyed it or you learned something new. But I'm going to get out of here now, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.